diplomatura?
I'm recording.
Okay.
Okay. And somebody who's should tell Thomas to record also. I will. I will tell
Okay.
Thomas.
Okay, I'm going to start sharing my screen. So we can see this is an example that we have from Legal Fox of a TOLES foundation. Remember that TOLES has 3 levels. Foundation, it's like the most basic one, or level 1, higher, and advanced. The thing is that we recommend to start with the foundation level. That's what we are studying, and the material we're using with the people with from the seminar 1. I don't know, Erika, for example, it's from seminar 1, Romy, and of course, the people from the diplomatura, if you want to, you can continue with us in the second module of the seminar 1. And if you want to also, if you are willing to, we can prepare for the TOLES exam in November, if I'm not wrong, Adela?
Yes, it's on November, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
This is an international examination of legal English skills. We go through a book, and a book consists in 10 units related all to legal topics. And then let's see this foundation level. It's only consists in legal reading and writing. It doesn't have a listening part. Okay, the higher level does. Okay, let's just try to go through the Ade, if you want to participate, if you want to help me. The thing is that we're going to see how the TOLES exam is. It consists in 10 sections or 10 exercises with different types of exercises, and different skills are being tested in which of them. Okay, for example, we have, if you Erika, for example, Giovanni, and Romy from seminar 1, you had an exam, and I tried to mix some of the types of exercises from TOLES exam, and you did it very well, so you're preparing for it. Okay, let's see, for example, this section number 1. Here we have to put a circle around the word that is the odd one out. Do you know what is the odd one out?
No.
Yes,
Yes.
correct. It's the word that doesn't have or doesn't belong to that category of words. Probably they are all related to one area of law, and there is one that doesn't belong to that area of law. We have to, first of all, we have to try to understand or figure it out what types of words are. I'm admitting people.
Yes, I will admit people, and you go on.
Okay.
Don't worry. Okay.
So for example, here we have an example. The words are notice, warning, damages, and notification. And the odd one out is damages. Okay, because notice, warning, and notification, it all relates to a
Notifications.
way of notifications. Yes. Okay. What about the next one? For example, partnerships, drawings, shareholder, unincorporated. This belongs to company law. We have not seen it yet, so it's
We're going
okay.
to see it on the
Yeah.
second module.
Drawings.
During the second module, yes.
Yes, and Giovanni also put it in the chat, and that's correct. Yes, I think it's drawings. Then we have resolution, vote, motion, encumbrance. It's also related to company. Sorry.
Encumbrance.
Encumbrance. Encumbrance
Yes,
are
probably. The thing is that resolution, vote, and motion are all related to meetings in a company. Yes.
but encumbrance is
Yes.
is some document that is accessory to another document. Un anexo. An accessory to another document.
Okay. Yes. Oh, I didn't know that, but the thing is that if you don't know the word, as I did, I didn't know it. You can relate to the other ones that are all related to a meeting in a company. We passed a resolution in a meeting. We can vote and we can motion something
during the meeting.
Yes. What about the next one? Insolvent, employee, grievance, tribunal.
Insolvent.
Solvent.
Yes.
Solvent.
Why, Erika?
Because the other words are concerning with employment law.
Yes.
Employment law and
Exactly. Yes.
employment procedure because of a
Yes.
tribunal. Yeah.
Yes. And for the, I'm thinking in the, probably the people from the Diplomatura are a bit lost, but the thing is that this is all in the Toles book. Okay, if you go through the book and the theory there, you can find all this vocabulary and all these areas of law. And we have, okay, 3-4 months ahead in order to prepare. Yes, you can catch up what we have seen from model 1, and also you can practice. The thing is that I also say that on one hand, you have to study for the exam. You have to study like theory and the content from the book. And on the other hand, you have to practice the exam. You have to make a lot of exams. Yes, in order for you to, and Vane knows what I'm saying, because she sat for the path examination. Exam. Yes, and there's like another like a different skill that you need to practice, that it's just doing exams and knowing what is going to be tested in each of the exercises and what you have to do. So you don't have to read the instructions in the exam because you already know what you have to do. Okay, you're prepared and you just go and do it.
Because every exam is exactly the same as another exam. Yes. All that changes are the words, but the format is the same.
It's like the Cambridge exams.
Yes, but I think that it's easier. In fact, it's easier.
Yes.
Okay, it lasts 90 minutes. I didn't say that. You are supposed to do this in 90 minutes. And it's going to be virtual, right?
Yes, it's virtual, yes.
Okay, so here you don't have to put a circle, you have to tick or something. Okay, let's see what about section number 2. Here we have to put a circle, but around the mistake, okay? There's a word. Each sentence contains a mistake, and the mistake is either an incorrect word or a word that should not be there. So we have to put a circle around the word that contains the mistake. Okay, here you have to identify, like in the example, I said him that I know a lot about employment law. Here's the mistake. You are supposed to be able to find the mistake. Can you see what is the mistake here in said?
Waze said a mistake.
I told
him.
I told him.
Yes.
Because to say is not
Doesn't need an object in the sentence.
yes, I
Yes.
don't find the word for that. But it's a type of verb that needs an object.
Yes.
Yes.
But tell needs an object. So
An
it's
object.
I told him. Yes.
There's Karen. The thing is that it could be, the mistake could be in a word like this, because the verb doesn't fit there in that sentence, or we need another verb, another type of verb, or it could be in a preposition. It could be anywhere. It could be different types of mistakes.
And you don't need to provide the correct option.
Okay.
You just
You
have
just-
to mark.
And that's it.
Yes. So probably if you don't know, like, why is there, but you use it sounds awkward, or it sounds like it doesn't sound right, probably you just put a circle and it's going to be okay. You don't have to explain or correct.
We don't have to give the reason. Why?
No,
No.
not at all.
Okay, let's try to do another ones. I did a bad mistake when I was drafting the contract.
bad mistake.
I made.
is a-
I made. Who said I made?
Laura.
Excellent. It's a question of collocation. Remember the collocation concept. What collocates with what?
Yes.
But bad mistake is bad and mistake is the same or not?
No,
Yeah.
I think that the mistake here is did, because you don't do mistakes, you make
Make.
mistakes or
And the thing is
commit.
that there's only one, not two,
Okay.
two options.
Yes.
Yeah, but I agree with my partner. She said that there's not such a thing like a bad mistake. All the mistakes are bad. It's a
Yes.
redundant.
Probably. But the thing is that for them, the only
Okay.
mistake there is the did.
Okay, I
part.
made a bad mistake. Is the
Alright.
same?
I made.
I
Okay.
think that probably bad. It's a way to enforce the idea that
Yes.
it was a really big,
Really bad. Yes.
Yes.
not just a mistake.
Yeah.
Mistake. Okay.
Yeah,
I
but
think in that sense, mistake
Yeah.
could be gradable. It could be a really bad mistake,
Really.
or not
Yeah.
such a bad
Fat
mistake.
mistake.
Yes.
You say people say a fat mistake, a fat thing.
Okay, yes. Okay, so let's try to do next one. To form a binding agreement, you must provide a consideration.
Forming or no? To form?
Mm.
What do you think?
What sounds bad?
To form a binding
Yes, I think that form.
or forming. Forming. Sí, puede ser como que.
I think it is. Oh, no, I don't say. Tell Tell us, Daniela.
We can go through the keys if you want to, but let's try to guess.
The thing is that the key is only going to tell you the bad thing.
Yes.
What is the correct thing? I think it's to sign a binding agreement.
Or I would
Maybe
say
it's
to enter.
Maybe it's missing the article in the
The-
last year.
Yes,
Mm.
indefinite article. It
I don't
could be
know.
an agreement.
But form it doesn't collocate with that.
Mm-mm.
It's to
I would
trust.
say to enter.
What do you say, Daniela?
I would say
info.
to enter. But
enter.
to enter a binding agreement, no.
¿Se puede iniciar así con to y el verbo, la oración?
Yes. To
Yes,
you
of
must
course.
provide something. Yes, yes.
Iba a preguntar lo
Entonces,
mismo.
to es para hacer tal cosa. To form, but to form is not. To sign a binding agreement.
Yeah, to sign, right. The purpose, but the verb is wrong.
I think that to enter an agreement, it's correct too.
Okay.
Do you have the keys, Daniela?
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't want to spoil the other one. What about the number 3? In last year, the Indian economy grew stronger.
De,
Ajá.
eso está
Sí.
mal.
In.
Indian economy,
Yes.
para mí.
I would say in. Yes.
Yes, but also a comma is missing, but the thing is that they don't provide a comma.
No. But I wouldn't say in last year.
No, you say last year.
Just last year. Yes.
Yeah, comma.
In is wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Indian economy, ¿eso está bien?
I think it's correct, and I think that in is incorrect.
On last year.
And you must not replace it. It's just circle it.
Just mark the mistake. Yes. I arrived to London yesterday evening, and I arrived by plane.
That's plain language.
To.
Yes.
I arrived
Why?
London.
No.
I arrived London.
In.
No.
¿No?
I think I arrived in London.
In.
In.
Ah, in London.
Yes.
Okay.
That's a matter of prepositions.
Practice
Yes?
a preposition. Yes, practice the preposition.
Dios mío.
Okay, and the last one, and we go through the keys. He explained me the clauses that I didn't understand.
Sin el that, ahí, I didn't understand, directo.
An option. You know that this is one of the most difficult exercises, so don't give up, don't be disappointed, because it's prepositions.
Sin el that, para mí.
That I don't understand. Who I didn't understand.
Think
No.
about the verbs.
Isn't it explained to me?
Yes, yes, I think so.
Explain to me.
Explain to me.
Explain to me.
Yes.
So what is wrong
Followed
there?
by to.
Yes, but the
Yes.
thing is that
Explain.
one
Here.
thing is wrong.
Mm.
Pero puede
One
ser
word
algo que
wrong.
falte o en realidad.
No, the thing is that it is wrong and you should circle it. What is
Claro, para
wrong?
mí,
The whole
that
verb,
está.
the verb is wrong.
¿Cuál?
Let's see.
Because if not, he told me the. Tell us.
Oh, the first word shareholder.
So he explained me the clauses that I didn't understand.
So
I arrived
the me thing.
Yes.
Yes, because you may say he explained the clauses that I didn't
In a
understand.
general way, right?
Claro.
He explained.
And
Ah,
here
mira.
in number 2 was the article.
I was right. Ah.
Ay, mira, tampoco era the verb.
Sign.
Who said that? Somebody said that.
I said
Ah, excellent.
Rodrigo
You are
and
on fire.
Rodrigo. Sorry, I don't remember the Rodrigo or Giovanni. Or, I don't know.
Giovanni, you told us.
Giovanni, yes, yes.
You
There,
told us.
We both,
Excellent,
yes.
Giovanni.
you were
Son
right.
muy inescrutables son. Bueno, pero ese es muy
Okay.
difícil el 2. Number
Yes,
2 is quite difficult.
It's quite difficult, yes.
So don't be disappointed. Go to number 3.
Let's see number 3. Here we have to read the following pair of sentences. For each pair of sentences, there are 2 possibilities, A or B. Decide which sentence uses the correct preposition. So this is, again, prepositions. In the example, she is married with a Canadian lawyer, or she is married to a Canadian lawyer.
So married with. No.
The example is already done.
Married with.
She's married with. And what about number 1? Please email me when your client arrives to a decision. Please email me when your client arrives at a decision.
First.
La A, A.
Sorry, the one that is correct or the one that is incorrect? I don't remember.
The correct one. The
Here
correct
you
one.
have to use the correct preposition. Yes.
Correct.
The correct. Okay.
Nevertheless, every time you should read the assignment, just in case. What if it says the incorrect preposition? You must keep it.
Please email me when your client arrived to a decision. To a decision.
To a decision, the A.
A.
Yes. A. Yes,
Yeah.
I think so.
Is it A? Vanilla?
Romy
We don't
says
know
A.
yet.
Okay, what about number 2? Where did you go in university? Where did you go to university?
To university, letter B.
Yes, I think so.
Yes, then we will see.
La B es.
Yes,
We will
I
see.
think so.
We will see. Romy says B also.
Romy says B, yes. What about number 3? Write the page number at the bottom of each page.
Perdón,
Write
Daniela.
the page, yes.
Oh, la
No
toma.
puedo, ¿sabes?
¿Cómo?
No, Tommy.
No
in
puedo
English,
grabar.
please.
No record it.
Okay.
I'm sorry, because I'm running out of time.
Okay.
I'm going to make you a co-host right now.
Sorry, Tommy.
There,
Sorry, Tommy.
there you are.
Hello, Tommy.
There you are, Tommy.
Yes, I think
Desapareció.
now you
Iván.
can. Okay, let's go back. Number 4. We were in number 3. What do you think it's the correct one?
Page number.
At the bottom.
At the bottom, right.
At the bottom.
At, yes. Number 4. He complained that his employer discriminated against him. He complained that his employer discriminated with him.
A. Against him.
Hey. Yes.
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 I think so. Yes. And number 5. I explained this when we spoke on the phone last week. I explained this when we spoke with the telephone last week.
On the
On the-
telephone.
On the telephone.
Yes.
Yes.
A. Romy says A.
A.
Okay.
A. Now we check if we were correct. Number 1 was 2. A.
You say
Let's go.
to A.
Let's go to the keys. So we have 1 was B, not
Yeah.
A.
Take notes.
B, A,
B, B,
A.
B, A, A.
Mhm.
So
So here you have to complete at the bottom, you have these boxes and you should put the answers there.
The letters.
Or, well, that was in a written text. Sorry, I don't know what I did with this.
The format will be the same, but probably the strategy of
Yes.
how to write that.
So here was B. Arrives
So
at a decision. And
Okay.
B, where did you go to university? And there was
Yes.
A. Yes.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Okay, what about number 4? Probably we should do one or a few more and then leave because it is quite long. Probably the last ones.
One or two of this. One or two of this. Yes.
We have section number 4. Here we have an article. We have to read the statements under it and says if they are true or false. Okay, here we have the text and the statements that we should decide if they're true or false.
Okay.
Do you think we should do this?
Yes, one or two. They are in order. So
yes. Okay, who wants to read let's try to read.
Marcela.
Yes.
Okay. A teacher of English received a total of £156,000 because she lost her voice due to her working conditions. Joyce Walters, 50, of Ickenham of Middlesex, was a teacher for 12 years at a college in Hillingdon, North London. Miss Walters damaged her throat because her classroom at Harlington Adult Education Centre, where she taught English to foreign students, was next to a very noisy area where school children met for lunchtime and breaks. She said she was obliged to speak very loudly during many of her lessons over a period of years, and her employer, Hillingdon Council, did nothing to solve the situation. After her doctor diagnosed a condition called vocal cord nodules, Ms. Walters took sickness leave in the 2006-2007 academic term. She was assigned the same room when she returned to work, and despite pleading with her employer to do something to help her, nothing changed, and she became so ill that she resigned 3 months later. Ms. Walters, yeah.
Stop there, and then we will try with one or two questions. You know that I had a case like that, but not exactly the same, but a case with one teacher that had to raise the voice and got nodules, and it was an illness from work. Yes, so it reminds me. So the two first ones.
Okay, here we have the example. Joyce Walters lost her voice in the course of her employment. And the example is true. You're supposed to write true or false down there in the boxes. Joyce Walters' home is in Ickenham. I think that's the way it's pronounced.
False. Ickenham. Yes, true.
And he says,
yes, of
yes,
Ickenham in Middlesex. Yes.
Yes.
Joyce Walters taught English to foreign school children.
False.
That is
Adult
school children. Adult education and
to foreign
student. Yes.
Yes, true.
But the thing is that he taught
she taught adults, but the point is that there was a noisy area next to the center.
The school
children.
She taught to adults.
Students, adult students, I think.
Here.
Adult students.
No.
Yes.
next, and the school children were next.
Yes, you're right.
Yes.
For 12
The thing
years.
is that she works at Harlington Adult Education Center, where she taught English to foreign students,
Adults.
but the school children was next to this education center. Yes,
Oh.
you're right. Joyce Walter was made redundant. We didn't read that.
No, but the text says that she finally resigned.
So she was made redundant from her job after returning from sickness leave.
Made redundant, you know that it's despedir. That is make redundant.
So it's
is correct or incorrect? True or false?
Nothing
Who
changed.
says false?
when she returned,
Yeah,
she
for
was
me it's
assigned
false.
the same room.
So she resigned.
She resigned.
She resigned.
She
So
resigned
it is
3 months later.
later.
Yes.
So she was not made redundant. Well,
yes.
up to that part. You know that
Okay.
it's a matter of comprehension of a text. In that sense,
Yes.
it's
And it's
similar to
always
everything.
related to some area of the law that we already dealt with in the TOLES book. Here we're we're seeing employment law again, employment tribunal. So the vocabulary, it all relates to the TOLES book. Okay, section number 5. Here we have a conversation, a telephone conversation between a lawyer and a client, and the conversation is mixed up. Put the conversation in the correct order. You're supposed to read.
In this case, it is always a matter of something that is mingled, that is mixed up. And sometimes it's a conversation, but sometimes it's not a conversation, but some parts of a text that are mixed up, or another type of activity, and then you should order in the correct order. Sometimes it's not conversation. The first one is the one that says hello or good morning. Daniela, are you there?
I
No.
think she's no.
Oh, what happened? What happened?
It says that you are the host now, Adela.
Okay. Okay, she will return. Well, you know that I have a text that I have prepared for all my students that want to sit for the TOLES exam, and the text explains the 10 exercises perfectly well. Every one of them is exactly the same, as I say, and the words change. So you have 10 exercises. There are 2 that are the most difficult ones. The second one that you have already dealt with, and it is full of preposition activities. And there's another one that has a hint with one word, with one letter. Everyone, you have to fill it up with one word, but you have the first letter, and that turns the activity in a more difficult way, because the letter confuses you. And that is the moment when I advise the students not to think of the letter, to try to cover the letter, not to think of the letter, and try to expand your mind and try to think of the type of word. For instance, is it a verb? Is it an adjective? Is it a noun? And so the type of grammatical word, and then the meaning, and then try to think of it in Spanish, the meaning in Spanish, and then turn to the to the correct word in English, and then after that you uncover the letter, because if not, the letter is going to confuse you. You are going to see it once Daniela comes back, as it is, and she's going now to come back. So
Yes.
the second one, and I think it's the 9th one. They are the
Hello.
two more difficult ones.
Hello, Danny. Where
I'm
are
sorry.
you?
Back.
You lost.
Yeah, I've
I was
lost my
explaining
connection
the 10
and
ones. Okay.
sorry.
Oh, Danny, congratulations. I didn't see you.
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
because Danny is now part of the schedule, the whole organization of the university formally.
Oh, good.
I'm so
Yes.
glad.
Congrats.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Congratulations.
Okay, sorry for the interruption. I lost my connection. So we were in section number 5. We have to put in order a conversation that is mixed up.
So the first thing is the greetings. Hello, hello,
Yes.
papa. And the
That's
last
the-
thing are the greetings, the final greetings. Well, thank you very much, goodbye. That's the last one. So strategy.
Yes, and the thing is that we always have to find the link between the sentences. Okay, if you have some keywords that maybe are repeated in another sentence, or if, for example, here I agree with you, so probably after that there was some sort of offer or statement that we can agree with, or if there's a question here, probably it's the answer, or here. So we have to look for that keywords or something that relates to or linked to another sentence. Do you think we should do it, or probably we can move on?
We couldn't do that unless we see all the options.
Yes, it's kind of
difficult.
complicated.
Yeah.
Yes. So, well, that's section number 5. Let's see. So we can go through the TOLES exam and you can see it for those who haven't
We're
seen
going
it.
to send them probably this text.
Yes, so you can do it as a practice. Yes, probably you can print it and do it on your own at your own pace. So you can understand it well, and we are going to do, if you want to sit for the exam, if you're planning to, we're going to do a lot of them. So we have to practice, and we have some exams.
Can I ask you something? I don't know if the correct place to ask.
Quiz. Who are you?
Vanessa.
Vanessa. Ah, Vanessa. Okay.
Hi.
Okay.
What is the cost of the exam, or how
Well, the thing is that if you're going to sit for the exam outside the university, the centers in general have agreed to ask more or less $200 or $230 at least in the past. And I think that that's the decision, somehow is a decision of the United Centers. But in our case, what we do is, I don't say I will cash only the cost, but I say, in order to excuse me from that decision of the whole centers, I say, well, I discount you what I cashed for the seminar. And the thing is that I only cash the cost, whether you are inside the seminar. And the people doesn't pay me. The people pay directly to the center in UK, because I make some decisions and I organize it in order to be paid through your own credit card, and you pay to the center in the United in United Kingdom, not to me. But whether some people come from outside, only once, it happened only once. I cashed them the official fee.
Total amount, yes.
Yes, in order not to be fought or to be scolded by the other centers, because they could tell me that I am being a bad competitor. But I have an excuse. I say, well, I discount all what we cashed during the seminar, and that's it.
So
okay.
how much is it?
How much is it? I will go into. I will ask the center today, this year, how much is it? But I don't remember. But I cash only the cost. But I will ask them what the cost will be during this year.
It will be at least 230, right?
No. That's the official fee for all the centers throughout Argentina. But for us, we only ask you to pay the UK the cost. And that's not the cost. The cost is, I think, is the third part of that.
Well,
but I will
if you have a doubt, if you take the TOLES examination, can you, there is like a general point about all the examination. You can have or you have to pay for the, ¿cómo se dice? El foundation. You have to pay for the foundation exam,
you have
and
to
then
sit
you have
for
to
foundation, yes, because higher is quite difficult, and the other one is quite difficult. The only time that one of my students took the advanced one, and she was so great, and she failed. So higher is difficult, and advanced is more difficult, even more difficult.
They have listening to, no?
The higher one has listening, and this one, the foundation one, doesn't have a listening part.
There is 3 levels of the TOLES exam, right?
Three levels.
Just written?
Foundation, higher, and advanced.
Okay.
Just written, or you have to do other skills?
Okay.
Speaking or listening, or no?
Foundation is only written. 90 minutes of writing, and that's it. Higher is a part which is writing part and a listening part. And then advanced is only writing, but it's so difficult because you more or less you have to guess what the author of the exam wants, and we are not there to guess what they want. They are quite difficult.
And
yes.
And there is no material for the preparation of the advance.
Yes, I have one book, and the book is not pedagogical. Okay, Laura.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Perdón, gracias.
Bye-bye. Did you understand, okay. Giovanni, did you understand?
Yes, but I know there's 3 levels. We are studying for the first level, and then if we want to make the advanced or the higher, we have to wait for another year, right?
Yes. You have to prepare that.
We
offer you to go through the seminar too.
Yeah, I think that at least you have to take 1 year for the advanced, right?
For the advanced one, you know that for the advanced one, I couldn't sit for the advanced one. It's quite difficult. I think that the advanced one is prepared for the European students that are full of English, because they study English at a very good level from the beginning. For instance, I used to have a German student, and the German student had so good English, and she was only 16, and she studied that during her high school times. So they have very good English, better than us. And so from that level of English that they have a very good preparation, for instance, with English teachers there in Europe. But here, for the advanced exam, we think that we don't have material, we don't have the idea of what they want in those questions, because the questions are so open. And you say, well, what is the correct answer to that? And probably it's going to be wrong. So that is what happened with my student, Laura was the name, and she was very good. And that's why I advise you to sit for the foundation and then for the higher. Whether you go to Britain and you study there, then you sit for the advanced.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Adela, thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Here we have section number 6. Here we have phrases, and they all belong to an area of law. In the list below, put each phrase under the correct area of the law. So, for example, we have to fill in a claim form. And the example, it's to fill in a claim form, it's litigation, in the area of litigation. Here we have working as a trainee in a law firm, and the common law.
And
okay?
litigation.
And litigation, yes.
3 areas.
So you have these phrases, and you have to put it in the correct column relating to one area of the law. What do you think? To apply for a training contract? Could be litigation, working as a trainee in a law firm, or the common law.
Oh.
Giovanni?
Which was the options again? Litigation?
Litigation, working as a trainee in a law firm, and the common law.
Working as a trainee in a law firm.
Yes, I think so. To file.
Yes.
Yes. You
Yes.
say so, Giovanni?
No, I agree to apply for a training contract.
Okay, okay.
Yes, to file a defense.
To file a defense.
Might be litigation.
Litigation. Yes, you're correct.
To record a judge decision.
The common law.
Yes.
The common law.
Probably, yes. To be based on judicial precedent.
The common law.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
To issue proceedings.
Litigation. O puede ser working training.
Issue proceedings.
No, I would say litigation, yes.
Yes, I would say so, yes.
To have a seat in the corporate department.
Working as a trainee in a law firm.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow, pero to have a seat in a corporate department as a trainee.
Sí, a seat para cebarles el mate.
To hear all the evidence.
Litigation.
Litigation.
Yes. To be a source of UK and US law.
The common law.
Common law.
Yeah. To take guidance from a principal. There. To be a trainee. Yes.
Trainee.
To be binding upon future cases.
Litigation.
Remember the common law?
Yes, the common law.
Giovanni, what you say?
I think it's related to common law concept.
Yes, yes, it's common law.
Yes. To give judgment for the claimant.
Litigation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Litigation.
Yes, I would say so. And
Give
to observe.
Give judgment is hacer lo que hago
No.
yo ahora. Ah, sabían que se después
Yes.
ahora.
Yes.
So
Sí.
to be a good judgment, so you are not litigating. You are
Ah,
issuing some decision.
So is it common law?
I think that you create a precedent for common law, but I don't know.
Yes.
Then we will see the keys if we have time.
To observe a partner conduct a case in court.
Working as a trainee.
Yes.
Yes, he's working as a trainee. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
This was pretty well.
Section 7.
Section 7. Okay, here we have to complete. We have a list of words. They are all verbs or phrasal verbs. Put the correct word into the sentences below. For example, your business did not, sorry. Did not abide by the rules which apply to limited companies, and therefore you must pay a fine. This is company law. Okay, let's try to do some of them. If you wish to from your job, you must give 4 weeks notice in writing. We have these options, right? Make, deal with, owe, pay, enter into, furnish, adjourn, submit, resign, raise.
Yes.
Resign, okay?
Yes. Yes.
If you want to resign from your job, you must give 4 weeks notice. Yes.
Right.
If there is no quorum present, then the chairman must the meeting. This is company law also.
Yes.
Submit.
No. Think of it in Spanish, if not. Si no hay quórum, entonces el presidente debe.
Levantarla. Raise.
No.
Deal with.
Finish.
No.
Deal with.
No. Giovanni, what you say?
I think it will be finished, the meeting.
Pero no está.
Finish.
But it's not
No.
there.
You have to look in the
For
options, here.
Yeah,
Enter to this now.
if there is no quorum present, then the chairman
Must.
Submit.
finish.
Pero
It
finish
said
no está.
furnish. Yeah, it said furnish. I need
Furnish
glasses.
no es.
Sorry.
And you saw finish.
Yeah, I saw finish.
Maybe. But it's not. Puede ser que no termine, que lo posponga. So,
Adjourn? No.
adjourn.
Yes.
Adjourn means that, to postpone.
Okay.
Yes.
Adjourn.
Yes.
Okay.
Pasamos por todas igual.
Sí, pasamos por todas.
Okay,
Why
let's
not?
do one more. If you a profit this year, you must pay tax on it.
Okay.
Oh. No.
Example collocation.
Ah.
Profit. Profit.
Enter into.
We already
To make
used
a profit.
what?
What do you
Sorry?
To make a profit.
Yes.
Yes.
That's a collocation, to make a
If
profit.
you make a profit this year, yes. Okay, let's move on to section 8. Here we have a text. It is from a contract. Some of the words or phrases in the text are underlined, and the meanings of these words or phrases appear in the box below, but they are not in the same order. Match the underlined words in the text with the correct meanings by writing the letters A, B, C in the box below. So we have, this is a contract clause, if I'm not wrong. And we have, for example, the termination, suspension, the agreement, and then we go to here. So the meaning of agreement is contract, okay? So we have the underlined word and we have to match with the correct definition below. So agreement, contract. Force majeure, it could be A. What do you think it could be? Correction, solution, if?
Something unforeseeable that happens, such
Yes.
as a strike or a flood.
Yes,
Yes, I
that's
agree.
force majeure, yes. So there we have to go on with every one of the words that are underlined and try to match it with the definition.
It's very nice to
Okay.
practice all we read.
Yes.
What do you say?
Yes, it could be easy if you are familiar with the expression or the word.
Well, so, but it's very nice to, it's useful to practice.
Yes.
Yes.
And we have lots of examples of this TOLES Foundation exam.
Okay.
Yes. So let's go to section 9. Here we have a text. There are 10 words missing from the box. In the spaces below, give the missing words. So
And that's the one with the initial.
Yes, you have
That's
to
the one with the
fill,
initial, terrible initial.
yes, you have
Show
to
them,
fill
show them
in the blank.
Show them.
Okay, here we have the text and we have blanks, okay, like here, here, and then you have to fill the gap and you have the initial in order to help you or not. Okay.
You should cover the initials. It confuses you.
Like the initials.
That's my theory, at least. I don't know. What do you think, Daniela? For you?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's
It could be
tricky.
helpful. It could be helpful because if you have some alternatives, then you know what's the option because of the initial. And yes, I think we should go to number 10 and then.
Okay.
Then we go back if you have time for one or two.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to do one or two if you want to guess?
One or two. Just to guess. Okay.
Okay. The pay of company directors. Let's try to do first paragraph and probably second. Who wants to read?
Who wants to read? Anyone?
Yo leo, pero mis perros empiezan a ladrar en cualquier momento. Hoy están tremendos.
No sé, brava. El otro día vi un dibujito de los animalistas, de los chicos animalistas, que dicen que estaba una persona así, estaba por hablar, y atrás están sus perros, y los perros están los dos y dicen, esperen, esperen, todavía no empezó. Cuando empiece ladramos.
Sí, son tal cual. Bueno, empiezo. The senior directors of some of the UK's biggest companies received more pay this year than last year, despite the economic difficulties the country is experiencing. An organization called Incomes Data Services published a report this month, which shows that the of the country's top
earnings was the word.
That the earnings.
That's the example.
Of the country's top company directors are increasing, while the monthly of of many ordinary employees are not.
Okay. Number 1,
¿Con qué letra empieza?
while the monthly
Salary. ¿O no?
with this, yes.
Salary.
Monthly salaries.
Ujú,
Okay.
ok. ¿Digo yo?
Yes, if you want
Many.
to. Let's do number 2 and 3 and
Many.
Unions.
Ujú, si es con T puede ser trade, pero no sé.
A ver, vamos a ver. Let's see.
yes.
Okay. Trade
So
unions.
that's the confirmation there. If you have a guess, probably the initial confirms it.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's it.
Many trade unions are angry about directors' pay. These organizations protect the rights of the millions of employees who receive only average pay, which in the UK is in the region of £23,000 a year.
Pounds.
Ahora mi nena también, no solo el This is a pay and is significantly less after tax and other deductions.
So this is
by contrast, the chief executives of the UK's top companies earned as much as £25 million each in the last financial year.
so this is a pay.
This is
This is
3.
Perhaps puede ser.
gap pay, maybe. The thing is that it says it's significantly less after tax and other deductions. So
It could be ground
ground pay,
pay.
which is the UK in the region of many unions are angry about directors' pay. This organization protects the right of millions. Y tenés que volver atrás y leerlo 1000 veces. And protect the rights of millions of employees who receive only average pay. Only UK. This is. So think of it. It is average pay that in the UK is £23,000 a year. Y también dice, this is another pay. So más o menos tiene que coincidir con el average pay. This is, I don't know, Daniela. Tell us, please.
Let's go to the keys.
Yes.
So Giovanni says ground pay. Let's see.
The thing is that I think that it's not related to the average pay. It's related to what the directors get.
Okay.
I think, because that's why the trade unions are angry about.
Pero tendría que referirse a que es un pago bajo, digamos.
I think that ground pay may refer like the
minimum payment.
Claro.
Okay. Well, let's see. Let's see the
Okay.
key. And that's it. So with a G.
I'm getting there. It was 9.
9.
Right?
Gross. Gross. Mira vos, es el que le llaman
Gross pay.
el neto, el
Bruto.
neto,
El
el
bruto.
bruto. El bruto y el neto.
Yeah.
Pero ground,
Gross
estaba la
pay.
idea de ground, está bueno. Gross pay. Ok. Bueno, esa es la idea. Sigamos. Another
Okay,
one.
and the last
Number
one, the last exercise is number 10, section 10.
Yes.
We have an article. Here's a newspaper article, and we have questions. We have to read the whole text, and we have to answer the questions. And this is the only exercise where we need to actually write. This is like the written production of the text. The questions are pretty clear, and you can find it easily in the text. The thing is that here we advise you to write full sentences and try to, of course, not commit any grammar mistakes.
And don't take
Sorry.
risks. Don't be excessively long. You should just write what is asked you for, because if
There-
not, you're going to expand and not. It's only
No, it's
answer the
just
question.
what it's requested. Yes, there are 10 questions.
10 questions, a lot.
For instance, the
Yes,
first
but-
one. Tell us the first one, for instance.
Okay. The question.
Yes. What is the
Okay,
question?
what is the value
Value
of John
Hurley's
Hurley's house? And you're
house.
gonna find
Oh.
it there.
And so if the question is, what is the value of John Hurley's
There.
house? You should start, the value of John Hurley's house is, and then you go for the answer. It is 1.9 million pounds. That's it. Every time
Yes,
you take
you
the
have to-
structure of the question, and then you take the structure and you change it in order to be correct, just with the question, and then you go for the answer.
Yes,
muy
and that's the written production.
And that's it.
Yes, this is the end of the exam. There are
All of them
There
are
are-
the same.
10 exercises. Yes, 10 sections. Okay, what do you think?
Okay.
Okay. Did you find it difficult or?
Easy.
I need
Yo
practice.
me quedé pensando en el ejercicio de donde hay que marcar la palabra que está mal. Que la
Which
palabra
one?
que
Here?
que era como que, bueno, que por ahí no sabíamos bien cuál era. Pero me
Ujú.
parece que cuando se marca la palabra tiene que quedar la oración diciendo las cosas bien, digamos. Que
No,
por ahí, ¿no?
no,
Ah, no sabía
no,
si era para darme
no.
cuenta.
En cambio, en los ejercicios de Cambridge, del examen de Cambridge, vos lo tenías que poner bien para que quedara bien. Y le tenías que poner arriba
Claro.
como tenía que quedar. Este no, le tenés que marcar mal.
Ah,
Por
ok.
eso me molesta ese ejercicio ahí que dice, ¿cómo es que dijo? I explained him, o explained me, o qué sé yo.
Explain it.
Podría ser la explained o podría ser la me, porque podría decir I told
Claro.
him tal cosa. Eso
Ujú.
podría ser correcto. Entonces ahí la que está mal es el explained.
Claro.
Y el me también, porque vos podés decir I explained and that's it.
Claro, ese me hace dudar, darme cuenta si es buscar la palabra o si, qué sé yo, no sé.
Yes.
Es el que más dudas me deja, me parece.
Sí, es porque tiene muchas juegos de preposiciones.
Ujú, ujú.
Y bueno, les digo que yo de los ejercicios, de los exámenes que he hecho, yo he hecho muchos exámenes. I have sat for many exams. The first certificate, the CAE twice, because the first time I didn't get the pass mark. So 2 times, then the TOEIC exam, then the IELTS exam, then lots of one from Cambridge for teachers. The one for teachers, I don't remember the name. 3 of them. So I think that this TOLES Foundation exam is the easier one for a person who knows some English at a B2 level at least. That is at I think that is your level, all of you. Well, that's it.
Yes. Okay, that's all for the presentation of the test. We hope you can join us in November. If you want to, the
In
students
November.
from
In
November.
In November.
Yes.
Acabo de meterme en un posgrado, pero bueno, termina creo que en esa fecha. Son 16
Well,
clases. Y
then Vanessa, if you go through the seminar, you may sit for the TOLES exam in, I think, March or more or less. There are some other dates, but we
Claro.
usually take this exam on November. But you may sit for the exam. But in my experience, the students that did so and decided to do so, then they did not sit for the exam. Because
Yes.
you lose the energy. And the energy of the mates,
Yes.
the group. Well,
¿Tienen
Ok,
más o menos una idea de parámetro del valor? O por lo menos a cuánto estaba el año
lo
pasado.
me busco los emails, porque siempre es más o menos lo
Es lo que
mismo.
nos tiene acá
Mientras
medio
ustedes charlen,
pensando.
yo busco los emails del año pasado, a ver qué decían, que no me acuerdo. Ustedes sigan charlando y yo se los busco. A lo mejor aumenta un poquito.
Hace mucho que no
Ok.
los veo, disculpen. Estuve muy desconectada.
I have a
Yo,
question.
la segunda de COVID me dejó muerta, chicas. La segunda vez COVID.
¿La segunda vez? ¿Se dio?
Sí, tuve en febrero y en mayo. Por eso estuve
No,
medio
¿Quién habla? ¿De
Vanessa.
Silvana o Vanessa?
Vanessa.
Uy, Vanessa, 2 veces tuviste.
Dos
Mi esposo
veces.
tiene.
¿Ahora? ¡Ay, se fue!
Sí, se fue.
Mi esposo tiene, ¡pum! Pobre.
Dos veces.
Positivo
sí.
ahora.
Te dieron la promo completa.
La promo completa. No, pero aparte lo más lindo. ¿Cómo andas, Tommy?
El all
Lo más-
inclusive, yo lo llamo. Y eso
All
que lo
inclusive.
pronuncio mal.
Dale,
All
sí.
inclusive.
Vos pronuncias mal.
All inclusive.
Mi el favorito. Escúchame. No, sí,
Y yo
tuve
me
una en
tengo que ir
febrero.
ahora, ¿saben? Pero no,
Bueno, está bien.
me parece que estaba Adela a cargo o la
Sí,
Daniela.
pero se fue así como estaba contando algo y
Sí,
se,
quedé yo.
como que se quedó.
Daniela.
De seguro tiene mal el internet. Así que te dejo, Daniela, ¿sabes?
Bueno.
Te digo que
Bye,
no pude
Tomás.
grabar.
Bye, Tomás.
No,
Bueno.
intenté grabar 3 veces, no pude.
He's
Bueno.
very worried.
Daniela.
No,
Oh, sorry.
no,
Sorry.
yo digo porque me van a hacer la clase de nuevo si no la grabo. Entonces es muy serio el tema.
Escúchame, cuando es así, ¿no te conviene grabar desde el celu con audio?
No.
Si no usas auriculares.
No,
Te con-
yo no uso auriculares, pero necesito permiso de la Daniela. Es que nunca me
Es
llegó
que
tu
es una-
permiso,
es
Daniela.
una selfish. Es una selfish. Estás selfish. girl.
No, en realidad te hice coanfitrión, pero después capaz porque salí sin querer, me quedé sin conexión y después volví a hacerte coanfitrión, pero bueno, no funcionó. Perdón.
Ah, bueno. Después le aviso a Adela y esperemos que no me haga hacer la clase de nuevo porque cansa tener que grabarla de
Ok.
nuevo. Nos
Ok,
vemos, che.
sorry. Bye.
Bye, Tomás.
Bye, Tomás. Thank
Bye.
you.
Daniela, which book do we use for this TOLES exam?
We have the TOLES book. It has the 2 levels, foundation and higher. And in the seminar one, we're using the foundation. Yes, the
Okay.
TOLES book.
Okay. Is it
So-
in seminar 1 in the platform?
Yes. In
okay.
every unit, we upload the unit from the TOLES book.
Okay. The activities, not the book.
Yes, each unit from the TOLES book.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, the whole unit.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, hello, Karen. I'm seeing you now. You're all here
Hello.
with me. Okay, I think
Hello.
Adela also left.
Griselda, hace mucho que tampoco la veo.
¿Cómo
Yes,
estás,
I'm gonna
Vane?
stop her.
Bien, mi amor.
There you
Vos
are.
sí, ella sí rindió el TOLS, ¿no? Gris.
Yes,
Yes. With
very successfully.
Karen
And
and Maria.
Karen. Mhm.
Ah, Karen también. ¿Y cómo le fue el Foundation?
Bien,
Bien.
bien. Estábamos asustadas.
Bueno.
Estábamos asustadas al principio, pero después relajamos.
Claro.
Trabajamos demasiado este año. Este año estamos como
Este año ya estamos como el otro extremo. Mal.
Claro.
You're going to sit for the higher at the end of this year.
Y esa idea.
Yes.
Mhm.
Wow.
Okay, yes. Okay, Maria, do you know if Adela probably lost connection? Yes.
No, I don't know. Sorry.
She suddenly left. Okay, I had prepared, but I don't know, Griselda and Karen, I'm sorry, and Maria, because you already done it last year. I had some, I was trying to make a revision for the students from Seminar 1 of the topics that we already been seeing in the first module, but we can try if you want to. And Marcela, Luis, Tatiana, if you want, and Vane, if you want to participate, you're welcome, of course. I'm going to start.
Adela is reconnecting.
She's reconnecting, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me. Okay. Sorry.
All of you received the first vaccine, first doses?
Yeah.
Yep. The
Yeah.
second, no. The second?
Not yet.
No, not yet.
I have it, the both doses, but Sinopharm.
Ah, okay. Yes, my parents too received both. And I.
But because I'm professor and
okay.
I work as professor in a hospital, so I get yes, the legal part.
Hola, hola, hola.
Hola.
Hola. ¿Qué pasó?
Hola.
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 Hola. Está silenciada.
Oh, sorry.
Hola. Hola.
Ahora
la escuchamos, Ade, sí. Ok. Sí. Te escuchamos medio cortado, Ade. We were going to play. Okay. This is from TOLES units 1 to 5.
Okay, sorry for that.
No, it's okay.
For the one review with a toy, with a type or not. Ay, qué mal que está. Ah. Sorry.
We were going to make a review.
Listen to me.
Yes, with a little bit of delay. Oh, Griselda, qué bonito tu perrito.
Ay, qué lindo, sí. ¿Es el que ladra?
Sí, recién no, la otra ladró.
Okay.
Estaban durmiendo las dos en la cama. Estoy en la habitación de mi hija y estaba durmiendo una en cada punta de la cama.
Nada, es hermosa.
Bueno, ¿quieren seguir en que sigamos todos en este juego? Porque para mí mi situación acá es deplorable. No tengo. Vamos a jugar con un programa de Dani. Listo. ¿Te parece bien, María? ¿Te parece bien, Griselda?
Yes.
Okay.
Se escucha perfecto.
We loved it
Always.
last year.
Yes, yes. You lost me. Okay, Giovanni, are you okay?
Nice to play.
Okay. Sorry for interruption. Okay.
I lost everything. I don't know. Okay. Do you know the pasapalabra, right?
Oh, yes. I love it.
Yes.
Daniela, please, Daniela, try to record because I've lost the recording part.
No, it's recording.
Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. So this is from unit 1 to 5 from TOLES book. So everyone can participate, of course, but most importantly is the participation of the girls and the boy from summer 1. Okay. I hope you.
Okay.
I hope you can help me.
And the ones that sat for the exam last year, that they are experts.
They know everything.
Correct.
Okay. It begins with A. This person is a lawyer who gives legal advice to individuals and companies. He or she passed his or her exam in the USA, and it is usually a member of the American Bar Association.
Attorney.
Begins.
Attorney.
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 Yay. Begins with B. This person is a lawyer who gives.
It didn't move. It moved for you.
It's
The
priest.
screen.
It's
Yes.
Priest.
I don't know why. So, dejar de compartir. There you go again. Okay. We said
Yes.
Okay.
attorney.
Attorney.
Check. Okay, begins with B. This person is a lawyer who gives legal advice and opinions to solicitors.
Barrister.
Here, barrister.
Excellent, Giovanni.
Yes.
Okay. Begins with C. The person who starts the claim, who issues the claim, who files the claim.
Demanded.
Claimant.
Claim.
Claimant.
With C, claimant. Sorry.
Begins with D. The person who is sued in a civil lawsuit.
Defendant.
Defendant.
Yes.
Excellent, Maria.
Begins with E. It's an adjective. To be something, for something, means that you are the right kind of person to have something. For example, because you are the right age or you have enough money. To be
eligible.
Yes.
Eligible.
Eligible. Begins with F. It is a payment that you have to make a professional person to do something for you.
Fee.
Fee. Contains G. It is a monetary compensation tort law.
Grievance.
Damages.
Damages.
Contains.
Contains, yes. It's tricky. Froze again.
Monetary compensation, okay? Damages. Begins with H, synonym of damage, without the S, tort law.
Court.
Or.
Sorry?
No era hort. Hard.
Harm. Yes. Begins with I. If you a check, it means you give a check to someone and you validate it by signing it.
Issue.
Verb.
Issue.
Excellent. Issue. Muy bien. Excellent.
Yes. Begins with J. Something, title. This clause gives the name of the employee's job.
Job title.
Job title.
Yes. Contains K.
Contains.
Something, pay. It is the money that the employer must pay an employee when the employee is ill and cannot work.
Sick pay. Yes.
Sick pay.
Yeah.
Excellent, Giovanni.
Begins with L. It is an amount of money that you borrow from the bank for an agreed period of time.
Loan.
Yes. Begins with M. Something, leave. It is the time that a woman is away
¿Se ha
from
movido?
work.
¿A ustedes se les ha movido? It moved for you?
Yes.
Okay. Now it moved. Yes.
Yes?
Yes. Yes, now it is.
Yes, we can see it.
Okay. Begins with M. Something, leave. It is the time that a woman is away from work before and after the birth of her baby. Employment law.
Maternity.
Maternity leave.
Maternity. Yes. Begins with N. It is when someone is not careful enough and this person's carelessness hurts another person as a result. Tort law.
Negligence.
Negligence.
Yes, perfect.
Tell us, Daniela, you prepared this.
Yes.
Okay. Excellent.
Congratulations, it's excellent.
It is excellent. Yes.
Yeah.
All your merits.
Okay, begins with O. It is the amount of money that you can take out of the bank, even though your account does not have that much money in it.
Overdraft.
Yeah.
Okay. Overdraft.
Overdraft. Begins with P. This clause deals with the arrangement for the employee to have money in his or her old age.
Pension.
Pension. Yes.
Pension leave.
Begins with R. To something means to correct something that is unfair, usually by putting the claimant back in the position that he or she was in before the negligent conduct happened.
To repair.
Free something. Free something. Redress. Who said that?
Perfect.
Who said redress?
Me.
Redress.
Okay, Maria, excellent.
Yeah, good.
They are our higher girls. Yes.
Yes. Sorry.
Begins with S. This person is a lawyer who gives legal advice to individuals and companies. He or she passed his or her exams of the Law Society of England and Wales at the end of his or her studies. Begins with S.
Solicitor.
Yes. Begins with T. It is a civil wrong when something causes harm or damage to another person.
Tort.
Tort, yes.
Tort. What
That's
happened
the
with the
definition.
Q? With the Q, there's no word for Q.
Oh, no.
No.
Begins with U, something dismissal, when the employer fired the employee without a good reason. Employment law.
Unfair.
Yes.
Fair.
Yes.
Yes. I don't know if that's correct. Yes. Contains B, it is a complaint. Employment law.
Grievance.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it contains B. Okay, grievance.
Good. Giovanni is very
Yes.
Keen on the exercise. Excellent.
Yeah,
Giovanni.
I said I'm ready for the television now.
Yes.
I'm with someone.
He's ready for
Excellent.
Toles.
You are ready. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, begins with W.
W.
To something money means to make money out of the bank account.
Withdraw.
Withdraw.
Withdraw. Yes. Withdraw.
Yes. Contains Y, I think it's
Y.
I forgot, yes. Of care, something of care to make sure that my conduct does not harm anyone. Tort law.
Duty of
Duty
care.
of care.
Yes,
Duty of care.
perfect.
Yes.
That was excellent.
You're on fire, Giovanni.
That was excellent.
Yes,
You-
Giovanni.
Daniela, thank you for the exercise. Really enjoyable.
Yes, it's
Yes.
kind of fun.
Yes.
Yes,
Great.
Yes.
you did it perfectly.
You're a great teacher.
Funny.
Yes,
Yeah.
she's a great teacher. She's trying
Yeah.
to become a teacher also.
Yeah,
At the
she's
FSL.
the best teacher.
Yes.
You are
Ganamos
Okay,
el rosco.
so-
Habría que hacer
Sí.
competición. A ver.
Yes.
Where do you collect? Can we collect the price?
Yes. The price is in pounds. In pounds is the price.
Yeah, at least a champagne or something.
There, I'm going to stop sharing. Okay, here you are.
You know that our first coach, that was Mauricio, he coached me and Daniela. Nowadays, he has a beer house. Mauricio. So 1 or 2 years ago, he used to provide us with some prizes that consisted of some vales. I don't know how to say that, in order to cash the vale with the beers. So
In beer.
At the beer house. What is the name of the beer house?
Malón.
El malón. So, eran vales para el malón. Estaba bueno. Para
Y ahora no
hay.
Consíganos.
Sí.
Claro. Ahora por Mercado
San
Libre
Luis.
y por Mercado Flex viene todo.
Mercado Flex, me encanta. Ok, ¿qué les pareció todo este ejercicio excelente que ha hecho Daniela y la presentación del TOLES Exam? Y para los chicos que están en segundo nivel, voy a hacer la presentación del TOLES Higher también, en este mismo método.
Ok.
Perfecto.
Bueno, ¿y qué les pareció? Me encanta la foto de Marcela, re sexy, mira.
Sí.
Bueno, así.
Está
Sí. Así. Bueno, digan algo, ¿qué les pareció?
Yo entendí que debo aumentar mi nivel de inglés porque yo entendí que entiendo muy poco de eso. Digamos, no solamente por el tema de que no soy lawyer, no conozco bien ese tema, pero lo básico lo tengo que estudiar mucho más.
Bueno, pero además, ¿sabés qué?
Muy informativo.
Tatiana, has hecho los 3-4 meses que han hecho los otros chicos en el primer módulo. Eso no te preocupes, si es por eso. Si
Pero
tenés ganas de
excelente,
aprender, nosotros
me
te vamos a
encantó.
coachear. Ah, bueno. Ok.
Sí, en realidad la idea es que tenemos tiempo, tenemos 4 meses como para prepararnos para el examen, practicar esta habilidad de rendir el examen, que es una de las cosas más importantes, no solo saber el contenido, como les decía antes, porque a veces solamente con el contenido nos podemos sentar a hacer el examen por primera vez y no lo hacemos en 90 minutos. Así que bueno, también es practicar esa habilidad, saber qué es lo que, o sea, saber qué esperar de cada ejercicio, y eso lo podemos hacer en 4 meses. Y sí, es cierto que los chicos de la diplomatura, bueno, tendrían que ponerse al día con lo que hemos visto en el primer módulo.
Sí, que yo se los paso.
Claro, con el módulo
O sea, no
1.
es todo lo que han visto, porque seguro que no es todo lo que han visto, porque seguro que han visto mucho más, pero yo les paso el libro, les paso los contenidos.
Son las 5 unidades, o sea, son 10 unidades en total, hemos visto 5, que eso fue lo que acabamos de repasar rápidamente con el pasapalabra, era un poquito del vocabulario, y después, bueno, nos quedan 5 unidades todavía de contratos, de company, y no me acuerdo, escritura, de cartas.
Yo se los pasé. Pero además tiene otra particularidad, que es que en el segundo módulo, por ejemplo, en el primer módulo se da contratos, y se da, no me acuerdo qué, y en el segundo módulo se repite en realidad contratos, y qué sé yo, solo que se profundiza, entonces de alguna manera provoca necesariamente un repaso de lo dado en el primero, porque te dan contratos, después te vuelven a dar contratos, y te vuelven a dar contratos en el segundo módulo.
Por ejemplo, yo el año pasado hice la diplomatura primero y después hice el módulo 2 directamente y rendí el TOLES estudiando del libro y estuvo...
Bueno, pero vos sos Constanza, vos sos una Constanza, te sale así como que te fluye.
No soy profe como parientes.
Parientes.
Dani, yo te quería preguntar, de Banking Law, de Higher, no está subido, ¿ese está el capítulo? O porque como que uní
De
las
Higher,
unidades,
sí.
Claro, no lo encontré.
Yo te lo busco, si no, yo te lo busco y te lo
Claro,
subo.
capaz quedó sin subir.
Quedó sin.
Porque
hay que hacer un clic.
de Banking había una actividad del año pasado. Claro, había una actividad de ILEC del año pasado, pero no de TOLES Higher.
Para que entiendan cómo es lo del libro, es que es críptico el libro, porque el libro es un mismo libro para los dos niveles, el nivel Foundation y el nivel Higher. Y en cada unidad tenés la unidad por ejemplo, en unidad 1A, 1B. Después tenés 2A, 2B. Y nosotros habíamos recortado todo lo A y después todo lo B. Y entonces todo lo B va con el de higher. Y el tema es, se puede haber quedado sin cliquear para que, yo me voy a fijar ahora y la voy a cliquear para que tengan el nivel.
Dale, Ade, gracias.
Bueno.
Gracias, Ade.
Porque me parece que ese falta.
Sí,
Igual
falta.
vieron que durante las vacaciones Karen dijo y yo fui y cliqué.
Sí, porque a mí me faltaba todo, solamente me figuraban dos
yo no me
unidades.
conecté, estuve.
Claro, teníamos
Yo voy a
dos.
volver a mirar. Yo voy a volver a mirar.
Claro, yo pensé que era yo, porque la verdad es que he tenido problemas para acceder a la plataforma, entonces yo, capaz que soy yo que no la veo.
Hoy, Karen, pero hoy Andrea me preguntó lo mismo. Andrea ahora no está, se tuvo que ir, pero me dijo lo mismo, que a ella la...
Bueno,
no
yo lo voy a poner.
parecía
Hoy me
todo...
recorrí las plataformas de los dos.
Ok.
De Diplo y
Y
de
Andrea está en
Sena,
el 3.
todo organizadito.
No escucho. ¿Se me fue?
Que hoy me recorrí las plataformas de la diplomatura y de la...
Hola, hola.
Hola. ¿Me escuchan?
Sí, yo sí, Vane. Adela me parece que no está escuchando.
No escuché nada.
No.
Que me recorrí las plataformas de las dos, de diplomatura y de seminario 1, y bueno, tengo todo organizado como para mandarte los ejercicios.
¡Ay,
Y
genial!
hacer los assignments. ¡Yes! All the weekend.
¡Qué bueno! ¡Qué bueno! ¡Qué bueno! Me van a ayudar muchísimo con ello.
Ojalá, ojalá.
Ok.
Bueno, buenísimo entonces.
Bueno, buenísimo.
Pero bueno,
para las chicas de diplomatura, como no pude dar el tema de hoy, no sé, voy a hacer una especie de poll ahí en el grupito. Si tienen ganas, mañana podría ser a la tarde, al que quiera cliquear y estar media hora, aunque sea, y les explico en qué consiste la unidad que es Rights of the Child, que es un lindo tema, Rights of the Child, para los que estén en diplomatura, y lo podemos hacer en un ratito, así hago una parte oral de ese tema.
Okay.
Okay.
Adela, perdón, con respecto a lo de Rights of the Child, lo que mandaste hoy por el grupo, eso...
Era todo para la clase que iba a dar yo, pero no.
Era para la clase, bien, bien, pero
Claro,
igual lo podemos
pero
hacer para ir viendo el video
sí,
y ir
totalmente,
haciendo las actividades, o lo dejamos
totalmente.
para la próxima.
No, porque la próxima ya pasamos, lo que vamos a dar ahora es la parte contenidos, y la próxima vez tengo algunos estudios de inglés jurídico. Para la
Perfecto, entonces podemos hacer las actividades tranquilos.
Sí. Ok.
Bien, perfecto.
Muy bien, Dani. Excelente, Dani.
Bueno, me alegro que les haya gustado y los espero a los de diplomatura que después quieran pasarse al seminario 1.
Sí. Y además, ¿saben qué? Va a haber un montón de gente más, porque hay un montón de gente de afuera, un montón de abogados que se quieren meter en el seminario 2. Así que es el segundo módulo del seminario 1.
Sí.
Así que Daniel vas a tener un montón de público.
Dani,
bueno,
pregunta.
buenísimo.
De las unidades que quedan del módulo 2, más o menos vamos a ir viendo una unidad por semana.
Y sí, más o menos, o por ahí un poco más.
Se va extendiendo más, ¿eh?
Sí.
Me parece. Se va masticando más.
Sí.
Perfecto.
Sí. Incluso ahí les mandamos un cronograma que le falta, que el cronograma le falta bien poner las fechas, pero ahí ven cómo se van estirando a lo largo de distintas semanas, según el caso.
Sí.
Claro, por esto de que se profundiza más.
Claro, sí, para que profundizar igual el libro de Toles tan lindo no es, el que era más lindo, más profundo, era el de INGLES. Pero claro, el INGLES es como estudiar la carrera de abogacía, más o menos, era una cosa... Dani estuvo estudiando 2 años para rendir el INGLES. ¿No es cierto, Dani?
Sí.
Una cosa...
Sí, y en realidad...
Who's talking?
No sé.
Sorry, was my telephone.
Ok.
Y a los chicos del seminario 3 es a los que les hacen un mix de material porque no hay un libro específico, digamos.
Exacto, sí.
Sí. Y no sé si Andrea realmente, que es la única que nos está siguiendo hasta el nivel 3, si va a rendir el Advance, la verdad que no lo sé.
No, es que Andrea no rindió el Higher todavía. Andrea no rindió el
Higher.
Hoy la estaba
Hoy
tratando
dijo que
de
tal vez.
Sí.
Claro,
A ver si
tal
se
vez
enganchaba
rendía
con
Higher.
nosotras.
Sí, tal vez anima a rendirlo, sí.
Porque somos Somos un grupo muy particular, pregúntale a Tomás. Entonces, estamos tratando de...
Somos un grupo buenísimo, un grupo buenísimo.
Las chicas de Tommy.
Las chicas de Tommy,
O sea,
lo aguantan a
igual.
Tommy, para que lo aguanten a Tommy.
Para que lo aguanten a Tommy, la verdad que sí.
Todas las clases preguntan si no hay alguien nuevo.
Somos nosotros
Bueno, ahora
cuatro. Somos las mismas 4 todas las clases y
Yo le
hacemos
canto,
todo,
todo le
pobre.
engancho con una
Pasita.
canción.
Le cantamos, le bailamos, ya lo tenemos podrido.
Bueno, pero vieron que él tiene muy buena pronunciación.
Eso es el-
Lo suple todo con
sí.
eso.
Pero
Sí,
mejoramos un montón, creo yo. ¿O no, chicas? Hemos
Sí.
mejorado la pronunciación.
sí.
Sí.
Pronuncia muy bien.
Bueno, entonces, ahora un ratito, si quieren alguna
Porque no hay
clase
profesoras, por
mañana a la tarde, sábado a la tarde. Yo estoy aislada acá, aisladísima. Así
Bueno, contalo de tu marido. ¿Qué pasó? ¿Está bien?
Pues sí.
Está muy bien, pero tiene COVID.
Tenés contacto estrecho y te tenés que quedar encerrada ahí.
Hasta el día 6 me tengo que quedar encerrada. Así que bueno, prepararé la clase para mañana, que ya la tenía preparada.
¿Lo
El que
tenés
quiera me sigue,
encerrado
el
en
que
una
pueda.
habitación?
¿Quién, yo?
No, él.
Yo estoy encerrada él no sé qué hace porque está a 200 kilómetros. Yo estoy encerrada en el fondo de un jardín. Acá encerrada.
Claro, te quedaste solita ahí. Te quedaste donde estás trabajando.
Bueno, se ve acá Marcela. Muchas gracias, Marcela, por estar. Y bueno, ya tenemos que terminar porque si no nos vamos a autoechar. Se nos hace largo. Pero
bueno,
ahora les voy a
suerte,
escribir
que sea todo leve.
The Rise of the Child, el que quiera. Y me hace falta un ratito.
Bye.
Perfecto.
Bye.
Chau, che.
Nos vemos.
Okay, bye. Thank you.
Bye.